Hi, how's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. I hope that you are having the best Friday that you possibly can. Um, Last week was a recording, so it's great to be back live. Let me know if you are listening either, sorry about that, live or if you're doing the recording. Um, if you are new here, I am Zoe with Hoffman Tutoring Group. And on Fridays, I do a Facebook Live to help you as a parent get your child the education they deserve. And I try to keep it under 10 minutes because I know that you have things to do, places to be, all of that. So, today we are talking about doing math over the summer. And so this whole last week, we've been talking about doing math over the summer. We just launched our summer math challenge, our first annual summer math challenge. I'm very excited because I have been thinking about this for a long time. So it is in the model of the reading challenges that libraries do, but it's for math, and it's not like a list of math problems that your child has to do. Instead, it's a list of experiences that you can have with your child um, that helps them think about and do math without it actually feeling like a chore. And hopefully that creates an opportunity for you and your child to have a positive experience with math, and to get them feeling like they are a mathematician and confident in their math skills, without that beating of doing a workbook. And that is what we're talking about today. We're talking about doing math over the summer without workbooks and without like problem sets online or anything like that. And I know a lot of students need some of that in their life over the summer. Maybe your child needs to do con to meet some requirements with their school, and that's fine. I think that there is a place for that. But then I also think there's a place for these math experiences. Again, doing things with your child that shows them math in the real world and has some positive memories attached to it. And if your child fights you back on math practice and concepts, or if you personally have a lot of math anxiety, I think this would be the great way for you to go, so that it's less pressure. Just chill, less pressure, lots of fun. So here are the things that I want you to try this summer to practice math with your child. First, cook or bake. Most families sometimes cook or bake something. So if you have the time and the energy and the bandwidth to let your child into that process, doing that will help them get involved in math because they are reading those directions, they're measuring, they're dealing with fractions, sometimes decimals and weights, depending on what recipes you're using. And they're getting experience sometimes with doubling and halving recipes, or maybe even other complex calculations. So that's a really good daily example of how we use math in our lives. And kids love to get involved with that. The cool thing too is a lot of times if you get your child involved in cooking something, they're more likely to eat it. So also for younger kids, if you don't feel like maybe they're ready to talk about like the measurements, or they're not ready to help with certain things in the kitchen, once you get the final product, like maybe you made brownies or maybe you made a cookie, you can have them cut it. So say like, can you cut these in half? Or can you um, figure out how me and your two siblings and you can share this equally. And that's a really good introduction to fractions as well. And they're going to like it because kids love making sure everything's fair. Um, Next, play games. Do a family game night, or just when you have a few moments, play a game. It doesn't matter what game. Most games require you to keep score, or strategize or use dice and add those dice up. Um, And that is a really great way for your child to think about math without it feeling like math. If you want to get into some other conversations, that's very easy as well, because sometimes kids will bring up things like, I feel like this number is being rolled a lot, and maybe they're not on that number, or like that number is not helpful to them. And you can like say, okay, on the next game, why don't we tally every time that this number is rolled? And tally that up, and that's a great introduction to statistics. Next, do logic puzzles or math riddles as a family. This is like pretty self-explanatory. You can find all kinds of logic puzzles and math riddles online, depending on age range and things like that. And you can either like post it up and have that be the family discussion for the week. Like, we're working on this together, we're trying to figure it out. That's really great dinner discussion if you have time to sit down and talk about that at dinner, or just like passing through the kitchen and people look at it. Or you can make it a family competition and see who can solve it first. Um, 4, involve your child in home improvement projects. I don't know about you guys, but at our house, we are doing a ton of home improvement projects this summer, just because there's more time, and this is the time when it's most convenient for us to do those. So if you can get your child involved in some way, age appropriate way, in those projects, that's a really awesome example of how we use math in our real lives. And things like geometry and measurement really come into play when you're hanging things on the wall, or you're building a planter box or something else for your house, or you're trying to figure out how much paint you need for the walls. All of that is a really great thing to get your child involved in, and it's going to show them real life ways that we use math. It's going to get them doing math, and it's going to get them involved and invested in your home improvement projects, and maybe get you a little bit of help, maybe if they're a little older and you don't have to babysit them the whole time. um, Number 5, the last one, and I want to say the maybe one of the easiest ones and one of the most important: use cash and coins. So in our digital world, we're using cash and coins less and less, but it's still a essential skill for your child to develop, is to be able to count money, um, and deal with money. So giving your child the cash to buy an ice cream cone at the food truck or the ice cream truck, um, and having them make sure that they have the correct amount, or counting the change that they get back to make sure it's the correct change, is going to be really beneficial. So keep some cash on hand, and then use that throughout the summer for different things, or give your child cash for their allowance, or maybe for their birthday or whatever, to give them experience with cash and coins. Even though we use cash less and less, kids still need to learn how to use decimals and fractions, which is basically all that cash and coins are. So cash and coins, use those. And for younger kids too, like if you have a big, I know we have a big jar of coins at our house, and you can dump some of those out and just let them play with them. Obviously, like, we're talking 5 and up here. Um, Sort the coins, count coins if they can do that, help you roll the coins to go take them to the bank. All of that is great experience with money. Okay, I hope this gave you at least one idea that you want to try. I want to hear which idea you would like to try this summer, which one's making you excited. And don't forget that you can access for free, without giving us your email or anything, our free summer math challenge. And if your child completes it, they get a prize at the end of the summer from us. So be sure to check that out. I'm going to put the link down below, so that you can access that. And if you have questions or want to reach out because you maybe need some support this summer, feel free to reach out to us on any of our platforms. And I will see you guys next Friday. Have the best week available to you.